construction is getting up there. So getting up to 4,500 meters, and you can see here this nice big truck that was used to move the telescopes up to, I can't remember, the Atacama Desert effectively in Chile. And they're very huge, massive projects. So you can see they've cleared the road, they've made it quite flat. And this is the limitations. These are the limitations for what we can do on Kilimanjaro. Because you don't want to build this road. You don't want this road snaking its way up to the plateau. They're not attractive. They really aren't attractive. And you can see the profile here. So there are points where, it's at 20 degrees, a 20-degree grade for a machine like this might be problematic, especially as it's getting up to high altitude. So we have to find another solution other than this. We either have to make the telescope smaller, so we do less impact, we don't have to do anything to the roads, the pathways, or we find another way to get up the mountain. The solution in the end was really quite simple, because I struggled for some time thinking, economic, how can you make money from a road? And things like this. And of course, a road affected the aesthetics, it affects the environment. I thought, how can I minimize the impact on this beautiful mountain? And the answer is quite simple. It was so trivial once I asked a question. And that was, what do they do in Europe? And the answer was, you build cable cars. So if you were to build a cable car system, you could actually use that system, at least once it's being built, to also move the equipment up the mountain for the telescope to be constructed up the mountain. Not at the peak, not even the cable car at the peak for that matter. But you could build this cable car towards Moenzi Peak, where it would have a clear view of the saddle and the iconic Uhura Peak. Okay? So this suddenly became a totally different model. Because I said in the beginning, you look for solutions, and some solutions have more cost. Well, this is very costly, of course. However, what you can say about a cable car, if you build it, and you build it well, you can make fortunes from it. You can generate serious amounts of income, and you can do something else. You can change the nature of tourism on Kilimanjaro. You can go from adventure tourism to adventure and leisure tourism. Leisure tourism is 10 times more valuable than adventure tourism. Adventure tourism is those people willing to live in a tent for 7 nights and then come back and stay in a bed and breakfast and go away. Leisure tourists want to stay in 5-star hotels. They want to have a beautiful restaurant with an amazing view, and they want to sit up there and have nightcaps while they see the hikers trying to summit. And that's what the difference is. So one will spend tens of dollars a night for their living quarters. The other will spend hundreds of dollars a night for a living quarter. And so you really are taking a it's probably $50 million a year or something like that that's generated by the tourism industry, the adventure tourism, and you're going to multiply that by 10. So it's going to be $500 million annual direct investment just because of going to leisure tourism. More importantly, you have to look at the multiplier effect. The area around Kilimanjaro is a relatively underdeveloped region, and if you have to go to cable car, then you have to build more advanced hotels. Now you have a multiplier effect of probably 4 or 6. So your 500 million becomes $2 or $3 billion annual in terms of the impact on the local economy and the economy of Tanzania. Now that's substantial. And if you start thinking about something of this nature, you start asking yourself that this is no longer a science project, it's now a Department of Tourism project. So now you've got 2 ministries, Ministry of Science, Ministry of Tourism, who should be working together to maximize the economic return from this simple little science project. Because make no mistake, the telescope's only going to cost 10 or 20 million dollars US. The cable car will cost 250 million. Hotels will cost who knows. So that was absolutely a game changer in our eyes when we thought about this project, because suddenly it became economical. It solved the number one issue that we had, economics. It minimized the environmental impact because we can minimize the amount of damage to the rainforest that we're trying to go over. We can use these cars to do game viewing while we're going over the rainforest. And lastly, if we low sling it, we have no aesthetic effect. And we can make it look cool, as you can see in these pictures here, so that people that do see it go, wow, that's cool. High tech and cool. High tech and cool is okay. Low tech and uncool, not okay in terms of aesthetics. So we solved all three problems with a relatively expensive solution, but one that basically drives the economics into another atmosphere, like above, like up into the stratosphere, literally. We're talking billions of dollars return rather than millions of dollars return.